Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. PSG now want to sign Arsenal's untouchable player. Paris Saint-Germain are sniffing around Arsenal's Gabriel Magalhaes. That's according to Goal, who report that the French champions want to add the Brazilian to their ranks. Try as they might, Le Parisien may well struggle to get the centre-back out of the Emirates. Indeed, according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal consider Magalhaes to be an untouchable player with the Gunners' stance, being that they won't sell the Brazilian no matter what this summer. However, as we all know, money talks in football, and if there is one thing PSG have, it's money. Gabriel would, of course, be playing alongside his Brazil teammate Marquinhos if he were to head to Paris, but the move does seem to be quite unlikely at the moment. Arsenal are building an incredible core of young players for the future, and it's unlikely that the Gunners will want to sell any of their star players before they all hit their peaks together. Let's be real, Arsenal are finally in a position of power. They are back in the Champions League and pushing for major honors. This is the only point in their recent history where they can't really be pressured into selling their star players. Of course, as Arsenal improve, the vultures will begin to circle, but this is the Gunners a chance to show the rest of Europe that they mean business and they won't be bullied into selling their most valuable asset anymore. PSG may be keen on Gabriel, but Arsenal need to hold firm in their stance that he is untouchable and continue to build with Gabriel at the heart of their defense. Agbonlahor urges Arsenal to up their offer for coveted defender. Arsenal are reportedly facing difficulties in securing a new contract for William Saliba, and the club has been warned that they must increase their offer as the young defender could receive a lucrative salary elsewhere. Saliba had an impressive campaign, making a strong impact for the Gunners and contributing to their competitiveness in the league. Upon his return from a loan spell at Olympique Marseille, he quickly established himself as a key player in the team. Manager Mikel Arteta has shown trust in Saliba's abilities, but with his current contract set to expire at the end of the following season, Arsenal are eager to secure his long-term future. Negotiations between the club and Saliba's representatives have been ongoing for several weeks, but progress has not been as smooth as desired. Despite Arsenal successfully securing a new contract for Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka, there is a possibility that they may be forced to consider selling Saliba if an agreement cannot be reached. Speaking about the French defender's future, former Aston Villa man Gabriel Agbonlahor told Football Insider, "It's a really difficult contract for Arsenal to agree. He was so good this season, and Arsenal were so poor without him that Saliba can demand silly money. He is on £40,000 a week. Even if you triple that, PSG might offer him £250,000 a week. I am sure other clubs in Europe will be looking at him as well. He is a real asset at 22 years old." Mark Lawrenson says 26-year-old Arsenal player's passing was game-changing this season. Mark Lawrenson believes that Arsenal defender Oleksandr Zinchenko really improved the team with his passing. Speaking on Off the Ball's Football Saturday podcast, Lawrenson was asked to name his team of the season. It's safe to say it's been a brilliant debut campaign at the Emirates for Zinchenko. After the arrival of Gabriel Jesus, it was a surprise to see Manchester City sell another player to Arsenal last summer. His £32 million fee seemed like a bargain for a player who had won so many titles at the Etihad, even if he was never a guaranteed starter. Zinchenko's introduction to the Arsenal team immediately improved the side. It said a lot that he could easily displace Kieran Tierney, who had been consistently excellent for the Gunners. Lawrenson admitted he was impressed with Zinchenko and the positive impact his passing had on the team. The Ukrainian allowed Mikel Arteta to completely change his tactics this season. It nearly led the Gunners to a very unlikely Premier League title. As he named his defense for his Premier League team of the season, Lawrenson said, "The left back, I put Zinchenko. I know he missed 1 or 2 games before the end of the season, but he was the very first to come in and play in this box in midfield. It made such a difference, and his passing was absolute quality. That's why I have gone for him. Like many of his Arsenal teammates, Zinchenko's performances dropped slightly towards the end of the season. However, Arsenal have recognized how important Zinchenko's passing ability could be to their tactic going forward. More and more teams are starting to move a fullback into midfield when in possession. Few footballers are capable of playing that role as effectively as the 26-year-old Zinchenko. Talks over a new deal this summer unlikely for Arsenal's Martin Odegaard. Although Martin Odegaard and his Arsenal teammate will be disappointed how the 22-23 season eventually ended up, there were still a number of positives for the North Londoners. For a start, the improvement in their general play was obvious to all and sundry, and if football really is the beautiful game, that was certainly on show on many occasions at the Emirates Stadium. Aside from their late season wobble, there were also a handful of performances that required really grit and determination for Mikel Arteta's men to get over the line, not least the epic match against Bournemouth that required a 97th minute intervention from Reece Nelson to earn the 3 points. Even in times of abject disappointment, it's important to find the positives in the situation and learn from those as much the pain that's inevitably felt. Odegaard has developed into quite the leader of men whilst at Arsenal, and the Norwegian absolutely leads by example in many respects, despite a relatively nomadic existence at Real Madrid, Herenveen, Vitesse and Real Sociedad. He is now found a home in the red half of North London. Arsenal is a club he is likely to be at for some while too, although he is unlikely to sign a new deal with the club this summer. Journalist Fabrizio Romano notes that's only because there is no rush from either party to put pen to paper. Both are more than happy with how things are going, and a new deal will be concluded later in the year. Arsenal submit offer to sign a 22-year-old defender this summer. Arsenal have been linked with a move for the Galatasaray defender Sasha Boey in recent weeks. It seems that the Gunners have now made their first move to sign the 22-year-old defender. According to a report from Turkey Gazetesi, Arsenal have submitted an offer to sign the 22-year-old defender in the region of around 20 million euros. Apparently, the Turkish outfit are holding out for a fee of around 25 million euros. It's no surprise that Arsenal are looking to sign a quality right back this summer. They have had to use Ben White as the fullback all season, but the former Brighton defender is more suited to a central role. White has been a reliable defender for Arsenal, but the 22-year-old Galatasaray defender would be a much better option going forward. Mikel Arteta should look to sign a specialist fullback this summer, and Bowie would be a quality long-term acquisition. The 22-year-old has proven his quality in the Turkish league, and he will be excited to make a step up in his career now. The opportunity to play in the Premier League will be a tempting proposition. In addition to that, Arsenal are one of the biggest clubs around, and they will be competing in the Champions League. They will be an attractive destination for most players. Arsenal certainly have the financial resources to pay the reported 25 million euros asking price, and they are probably looking to bring the price down with an initial offer. It will be interesting to see if the North London Giants can finalize an agreement soon. Man City are ready to sell Cancelo for Arsenal, says a journalist. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move to sign Manchester City's Joao Cancelo this summer, and the Gunners apparently know what it would take to get him. Mikel Arteta has already brought in two players from the Premier League champions, Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko. Both of them have been sensational for Arsenal, and it's no surprise that he is looking at the Etihad again. It doesn't look like Cancelo has a future at Manchester City anymore, and that's probably why Arsenal are considering him. Dini Jones has now shared the latest on the situation on Give Me Sport. When Manchester City sold Jesus and Zinchenko to Arsenal, Pep Guardiola probably didn't think the Gunners would push them so close to the Premier League title. The two old City boys transformed Arsenal right after their arrival. Arteta's team looked completely different to what they were in the previous campaign, and the results showed that. The perfect blueprint for Arteta now would be to go and sign another top quality player from Manchester City to add even more of a winner's mentality to this Arsenal side. Cancelo would be an excellent option, and even though Arsenal are now direct rivals to City, Guardiola is apparently ready to let the Portugal international join them if they meet the asking price. Jones said, "Obviously, Cancelo is one of those, and there is already an understanding at Arsenal of what it would take to sign him from City. If Arsenal are willing to pay up, then City would not block the move. That's the current feeling. It's a stance they have held in the past and does not seem to be swayed by the fact Arsenal ran them closest in the title race this season. Whether Arsenal will have the resources to spend the big bucks on Cancelo after getting their other main target this summer remains to be seen." Pep Guardiola says £140,000 a week Arsenal target is his close friend. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move to sign Manchester City star Ilkay Gundogan this summer, and Pep Guardiola has revealed that the midfielder is one of his close friends. The German was the star of the show in the FA Cup final yesterday. He scored twice to help City beat Manchester United, and the big talking point after the game was about his future. Gundogan's current £140,000 a week contract will expire in less than a month's time. Guardiola had his say on the situation after the final at Wembley. The Athletic revealed just over a week ago that Arsenal are interested in signing Ilkay Gundogan on a free transfer from Manchester City this summer. Mikel Arteta worked with the Germany international during his time as an assistant at the Etihad, and he is keen to use their relationship to lure him in, just like he did with Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko last year. Pep Guardiola was happy to let those two players leave City and join Arsenal, but he is desperate to keep hold of Gundogan, a player he claims is one of his closest mates. After the FA Cup final, Guardiola was asked about the midfielder, and he revealed that the two are currently neighbours. He also claimed that he is hoping Gundogan will stay at City. He said in his press conference, as relied on Highter's TV, "He knows what I think. Maybe someone of you know. We are neighbors. We live on the same floor for many years. He is a close friend of mine. As a player, he is exceptional. Hopefully, we can finish in a good way. Manchester City's director of football is working, and hopefully, we can do it because this season, what he has done is exceptional. Don't forget, against Aston Villa, the two goals he scored this season, he scored many times. He scored important goals. The focus now for Gundogan and Manchester City is the Champions League final next week, and after that, the German will have to make a decision on his future, and Arsenal will surely be keeping a close eye. If Mikel Arteta can get him, it would be a real statement ahead of the new season." Fabrizio Romano shares what Arsenal are now waiting for with Declan Rice. Arsenal are waiting until the end of next week before they make any concrete move for West Ham midfielder Declan Rice. Rice is Arsenal's top midfield target. Heading into the summer transfer window, the Gunners are desperate to add some new midfielders, and Mikel Arteta feels Rice is the best option. However, they face a fight for the Hammers skipper. A number of clubs, including Liverpool and Man United, are keen as well, but according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal remain the favourites for now, but are biding their time. Speaking to Give Me Sport, respected journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has provided an update on the situation with Arsenal and Rice, and according to Romano, the Gunners are simply biding their time. He said, "They are leading the race in terms of interest, but then you have to reach an agreement with the player and with West Ham. This is still the case, but we know they want to respect West Ham because of the Conference League final, and this is why there is no concrete negotiation now, as they are waiting on the price tag. West Ham take on Fiorentina in midweek as they look to win the Europa Conference League. In the end, this approach from Arsenal might end up playing into their hands. West Ham will want to get the best fee possible for Rice, and if Arsenal play their cards right, the Hammers might prefer their bid. For Arsenal, it's a case of being patient. If they pay the money, it does seem Rice is keen on making the move to the Emirates. If Arsenal do end up signing Rice, then it's a huge step forward. He is Arteta's number one choice, and right now, probably England's best midfielder. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.